God, get on your A game. My back has popped so many times this morning. It sounds like bubble wrap. I don't know what's happening. I do know what's happening. It was my workout yesterday, which was legs. Explain that to me.
I posted on my Instagram the other day, like I saw this video of a guy stretching his skin.
Yes.
And it was on the screen, it said, someone diagnosed my husband. And it's like so funny because I've always had that stretchy skin. And so I ditched it or whatever and pulled my skin. And everyone was like, yeah, you have a hypermobility issue. I'm like, it's just not in the back of my legs.
It's not in the back of my legs.
Don't ask a bitch to touch her toes without bending her knees. But if you need me to parachute us falling down, I'll just spread my face open.
When I know something's focused, I just realign. I'm on my grind.
Okay, what are we looking for?
All
What are we
right.
doing? Hi.
I found it.
Okay.
So someone wrote us phone a friend, and I thought it would be a fun one for us to start with today, because it is very much like it has to do with us, kind of. It says, can you guys walk through how you guys manage your platonic friendship? I have a...
Okay.
Manage is an interesting word. I have a gay friend and I am straight. He's my first gay friend. We have tons of fun together, laugh lots, dance together, and even say things to each other that would be considered flirting if it was a straight friendship, but not sure how to receive it on my end when it feels like flirting when talking or joking about sexual things. I'd love some insight. Thanks, guys. So.
Well, you receive it as you're hanging out with your friend.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that to be a bitchy. Like, you receive it the same way you would receive it if you're with a girlfriend. That you're not attracted to your girlfriend because it's your girlfriend.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
This is an off subject because I want to talk about like some specific experience with that. But
Yeah.
Have you ever had a guy friend that was a straight guy that turned into a relationship?
Let me ask you a question about your question.
Okay. It's fine.
Meaning, like, we started off as just friends with no, like, I didn't want anything else and he didn't want anything else, and it turned into a relationship because we were such good friends, or we sort of knew we were attracted to each other, but we became friends first and then became a couple.
No. Friends.
With no interest.
Like your friends, that's not it. And then all of a sudden, like you see it in rom-coms sometimes.
Yeah, like you like don't see it, you're not attracted to them, and all of a sudden one day you're like, oh shit,
Yeah.
I'm attracted to them. No.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever been friends? Did you have a lot of straight guy friends growing up, like high school, college?
High school, no, not so much. We had a big group of friends, like girls and guys. So I guess kind of, but I had a boyfriend. So like college, I had a lot of gay friends. I went to a performing arts college.
Yeah.
So I had my girlfriends and the guys that we hung out with. We had gay guy friends. And then we also had straight athletic friends. But that was usually like, who are you attracted to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Going to a performing arts college, that literally the main thing they train you is how to be friends with gay guys.
What'd you learn in school?
Obviously.
How to befriend the gays.
Yes.
And how fabulous it's going to be. But to answer your question, I've had people that I have been friends with, like met them, started a friendship with, but been attracted to them.
Mm-hmm.
I did have, okay, wait a minute. I have one friend. This is funny. If he listens, I think he listens to the podcast sometimes. Marky Mark, what's up, buddy? He won't care. When I very first met Mark in college, I met him at a club. Like, I was on the dance floor with my girlfriends. He was on the dance floor. He was a really good dancer. Obviously, I love to dance major. So like, he just started dancing with me. And like, we had the best time.
I'm picturing, by the way, like a dance-off scene. Like
it wasn't a dance-off scene, but like
I'm totally picturing.
It was like the early
you on a dance floor.
No, it wasn't like that. But it was the early 2000s, and like swing was in at the time.
Oh,
and he could swing dance, and so he just like grabbed me and started throwing me around the floor, and I was like, oh shit, this guy could dance. Like, this is fun. And so like
cool.
A circle formed around us, like while he threw me and spun me and all the things. And I think like we exchanged numbers, but he went to a different college. He went to a college like an hour and a half away. We would talk sometimes. We met up at the club a few times. And I remember thinking to my girlfriend, like saying to my roommate, I was like, I don't know if he's gay or not.
Mm-hmm.
And I really, again, this is me being very young and naive, but the only thing I had to base it on was like, he was a really good dancer. We had a great time and we had hung out a couple times and he hadn't made any kind of move. So I was like, not that that makes you gay, but I just
Right.
wasn't sure.
Yeah.
And then like, maybe it was like our second or third time at the club. We came out, everybody's like dripping sweat, 2 a.m. and he gave me like a little kiss goodbye. And I was like, okay, he's not gay.
Oh.
And we went on to, I guess I would say we were friends with benefits for years.
Mm.
We never really dated.
Yeah. It's got to
But
the
we
point.
were very good, but we were very good friends
Yeah.
with some benefits
Okay.
for a long time.
That is
That
so
doesn't
fun.
answer the question about, well, her question. We could talk about that.
No, but that's interesting. So, okay. So I feel like when you were like, I don't know if he's gay, was it because you were like, you thought he was cute?
I did think he was cute, yeah.
Yeah.
And he was really fun, really funny, outgoing. Like I said, great dancer. I'm at a performing arts college. Everybody that dances is gay.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I'm like
Yeah.
little bubble where like the guys in high school, like they didn't really dance. I mean, yeah, if you were at a formal, like would they slow dance with you? Of course, but they weren't like swing dancing, throwing you around the dance floor.
Mm-hmm.
So I just didn't know. Like it was like, you know, I was still.
You know what that shows is like your brain was in a place where if that like little kiss goodnight never happened, you guys, it didn't go that way. If he would have been like at the end of the night, like, girl, you think that guy's cute? I'm going to go talk to him. It feels like you were at a crossroads where you would have been like, bitch, yes. And also could have been very comfortable with that because you have this, like if someone's gay,
Then they're gay.
And
then that's
they're
just
gay.
not
It's like not even a thing.
It's not a thing.
Yeah.
And I don't think every girl has that necessarily.
Right.
And I think it just depends on, because so we had a mutual friend
Mm-hmm.
that when I first met you was attracted to you and thought maybe you were bi. And I was like, nope. He's as gay as the day is long.
If
Like,
I'm not a betting person, but if I'm putting money on it,
if I'm putting money on it,
I'm gonna get rich.
yeah, I'm already wealthy.
Yeah.
He's gay. There's no
Right.
like, you are not his cup of tea. But I do think sometimes, and I want to be careful how I say this because I don't want to make it like I'm insulting somebody or anything. But like I think sometimes like maybe if you haven't been receiving attention from the opposite sex in a while, and then like a gay man is great at making a woman feel good.
Mm-hmm.
Like your
Totally.
gay bestie will compliment you, girl, you look beautiful, and they'll say things that might make you like, oh my God, your tits look amazing, right?
Right.
Like, and you take that as flirting or something, because gay men can really appreciate a woman's figure.
Yeah.
Like some gay guys are like, hey, look, if we got to put it down for you, we will. We don't, but like
Yeah.
they're like, I'm still gay.
Right.
So I think it could just be misinterpreted if you're not used to it.
Yeah. I mean, there's I think a lot of it has to do, it's totally that where you come from. If you don't have a lot of experience with gay people,
What it looks like to interact with them, or like how they interact, how a gay person interacts with you.
you know, I think that Will and Grace did a really
Yeah.
good job of displaying,
Yeah.
like, Grace obviously would have preferred Will
As
to
her-
be straight.
Yes.
And also in a way, like I've always said, and I'll talk more about this, but that like I love women so much. Like I love a show with a strong female lead. I love my girlfriends.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with women. I connect with women. If I was sexually attracted to women, I don't know if life could be much better than that. Except for I wouldn't be me.
Right.
And that's part of what makes it so special.
Yes.
And there's really something too, like people talk about sometimes they'll be like, oh, he's so amazing, but he's gay. Like he doesn't, like that means he can't be your guy. But honestly, if you don't have a gay in your life, it's like, at least one that's like, that's my boy. There's no relationship like
Honestly,
it.
I think sometimes I'm like, you got to embrace it. Like your gay bestie is like, that's fucking perfect because you don't have to deal with the sexual tension. You
Right.
don't have to deal with the like, I'm annoyed at you, you fucking slob, you did whatever, like, or you didn't understand my feelings. Like this is the person that you get to have all those conversations with. But you have to know
Yeah.
there isn't a romantic future there.
Right.
For me, I guess like I have so many gay friends, like so many male gay friends. It's just never, I don't know. I guess I don't know what the mechanism is, but like, just like you're not attracted to like your sibling or your cousin or something.
Yeah. It's
like
just
it's
like
just
not a
not
thing.
there. It's just not because I can acknowledge you're a great looking guy,
Sure.
but I'm not.
I'd fuck you. I'm just kidding.
I mean, but
Totally
but
kidding.
also, yeah, but you're
but also
you're gay, so like
Right.
it's not even a thought. Like it's
Exactly.
not a.
No, so I have had, and I take full responsibility. I have confused a lot of my girlfriends in the past, but I'm not talking about
Before you were out though, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about when you and I first met. But it has been an interesting journey because I went from having a very hard time accepting my sexuality.
Mm.
And then when I started like wanting to, I would say, I think I'm bi. But that was, and I do want to caution if anyone, because this can happen at any age. And it's really sad to me. I still sometimes in my hometown or there was someone I met once when we were in Puerto Rico, where it's like, I know that this person is gay and they're unable to accept that they're gay. And so they say things like, I also love pussy. And I know that's hard. I'm not trying to be crass,
Right.
but that's the kind of things that I would say at a young age when I didn't, in
Right.
fact, have any interest in that. No, thank you. It's fine if it's on the menu. I'm down for an all-inclusive situation for people, but I'll pass.
But that's not what I'm eating tonight.
Exactly. I won't be eating that tonight. So,
Prefers meat, not seafood.
yeah, exactly. So I just want, like, if I could go back in time, I would tell myself, you're really confusing a lot of other people because you're afraid to be honest about yourself. So you need to really set boundaries in this friendship. So that's the thing. It doesn't sound like that's what the person who emailed us said.
She knows he's gay.
Exactly. But then there was this time where like I started with my friends. I wasn't like out online or even with all my family, but some of those girlfriends who, by the way, part of my liberation in life was going to the clubs with and dancing. And we would like grind on each other and get sweaty. But nothing was happening down there. You know what
You're
I
like
mean?
dead.
Yeah, exactly. It just was.
But it's fun. It's being
to
yourself.
Exactly. And sort of like in settings that I'd never been in, but I didn't think about at the time as I was going through that my girlfriends, I might have also really been confusing them because I was giving them all of the attention and fun and also listening and advice and stuff that they just weren't getting from straight guys or their potential partners. So then when I was like, okay, I'm gay, I remember having a conversation with a friend of mine who a straight girlfriend of mine, and she was like, and I'm talking like 24 years old or something, like young, 25 years old. And she was like, I'm in love with you and it sucks and I don't know what to do.
But she didn't know you were gay to start, right?
To start, right.
Yeah.
And then that like happened.
Yeah.
And so it was this thing. And so I understand that like, depending on where you're from and what your circumstances are, but if someone says they're gay, or even if someone is wrestling with their sexuality, whether they're bi or not, girl, do yourself a favor and let that door shut. Let that like put that wall and boundary there because you don't want your heart to get entangled in that mess when someone's trying to figure out themselves like that. And then now when later, like I'm gay, I tell people I'm gay. I've had, especially even as a dance teacher, Like one of my students said to me one time, well, you're the ice cream cone that we all want to lick, but we know we can't.
Oh my God.
Isn't that aggressive? I was
aggressive.
like,
Well,
thank you.
But that's what I mean though. Like when you know somebody's sexuality and their preference is not you,
yeah.
whatever that is, right? But like in this case, you're a female, straight, this person is gay, male, and he's gay. He said he's gay. You've written it in the email that he's gay. You're taking things out of context. Like I just like, let me give tough love for a second.
Yeah.
You're turning it into something that it's not, and that's not his fault. That's really just you interpreting it in a way that is not at all the intention. He's gay. He said he's gay. He's your friend. Like now, if it confuses, like I'm just speaking to her now, if it confuses you that he says funny things sexually then maybe you need to have a conversation and just be like, look, that confuses me, so maybe we shouldn't talk about that stuff. But I just think, like, again, this is where I say it's like probably comes down to like, are you not getting attention from a male somewhere else in life? Because more than likely, I feel like that's what it is. It's probably that there's not male attention coming in. And so the fact that there's so much like admiration coming from her gay male friend, it feels really good. And you want that to be something more than it is, but it's just not.
Or is it like because there's that emotional connection there, it feels like maybe she gets quote attention, but it's still so different when like someone you love, then like you might really need to put up a boundary. Like I know that we're just joking about sexual things, and honestly, I know you're gay and we're pals, whatever, like bosom buddies, but let's not joke about that because for some reason I don't like it. I know I want to normalize people just saying the fucking thing.
Right.
Like if it makes you feel question things or makes you even take a pause for a minute, just tell them I don't like that. Like if you are talking about, I have a friend who doesn't like to talk about certain sexual things, where most of my friends, honestly, nothing's off the table. We'll talk about
all of it.
We'll put it all on the table.
He's not talking about me.
Well, exactly. Autumn's not the friend that won't talk because we can talk about anything. And I love talking about things that feel taboo or weird to talk about. But you're talking with your friends and you just go there without any shame. But there's a friend who I know I can't, like, if I started talking about anal with her or something, she would be uncomfortable. And so I don't. And
who is it? Let's go have the conversation. I like to watch people squirm a little.
And I think that it is just good, like good on her for making her friend know that and not going there. And it's not because, she feels attracted or something to me, but it's just because those kinds of conversations make her uncomfortable. So I think having a conversation and just saying this feels like flirting, and it's okay to put some boundaries. There's a lot, like when we get these phone a friend, because of me as a gay person and my extensive list of girlfriends and ways that I've met different people and stuff, I can think of this scenario in 1,000 different ways. Yeah. But I think the real important thing is like just setting boundaries and looking at what you love about your friendship with that person and really focusing on that and not letting your mind wander to, okay, but what if it could have?
Yeah, it's not. It's just not. Right. It's a hard stop.
Right.
The person has been very clear. So I think, however you need to navigate the friendship to not be confused, but it doesn't sound like he's giving her mixed signals. It's not flirting. It's just personality.
Yeah.
It would just be like having that same conversation with your girl, like I said, with your girlfriend. Like you wouldn't take it as flirting if you were having.
Yeah, but I think when like you said, you went to performing arts school, you grew up around a lot of gays. A lot of women are not used to a guy being like, "Oh my God, girl, your tits look amazing," or "Your ass is like so good in those jeans," or
loves
boobies.
He sure does. He loves boobies. Nell loves boobies. He's like, I just love them. I just want to touch them. And no, he doesn't touch mine, but
yeah.
But also if he did, I would be like, whatever. But I wouldn't you know that he's just admiring like the female body
Right.
in general. It's a fun thing. It's not a turn on thing. He just thinks they're cool.
Totally. Yeah. Right. And so just think like you have to, I think if people grow up, this thought just occurred to me too. We grow up. I've been talking a lot about neuroplasticity because I saw a few Instagram posts and I think I'm a
Obviously.
genius about it now. But it's about like we grow up and we have specific ways we think about things. And so people say, oh, you have a very nice outfit. But if someone crosses the line and starts saying something about you that's flirty or sexual, you think that they have interest. Well, you need to create a new pathway of thinking, a new neural pathway that you realize, okay, for when gay guys say this, it's just like giving a nice friendly compliment,
Right.
But they can be really specific and to the point and be like, your boobs, you are so hot. You are so freaking hot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, I'm not used to hearing this from a man who doesn't want to fuck me.
Right.
But it's nice because I'm creating a new neural pathway.
You know what else, though? I think this could also be the thing. You know he's gay, so it feels really safe to let him say anything. But that could get a little confusing. Because as women, we are very on guard. At least I know I am. I know a lot of my friends are like, the world we've grown up in, like, you know, like, even when you're out, it's almost like you have a wall up of like, don't come fucking talk to me. Like, no, because men can be so crass and so aggressive. And like, so you really got to like give off the energy of like, you better watch how you fucking talk to me.
Yeah.
Like, because it doesn't feel safe sometimes. Because there's been times where a man has complimented me, like a random stranger, and they are not trying to do anything other than be nice. Like, it hasn't been inappropriate or anything. And honestly, like, I instantly find myself like, like protective mode. Like, why the fuck are you talking to me?
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know, so I try to find the balance between, hey, somebody's being nice. Just like it happened to me a few months ago at Erewhon. Like, I was standing there in line waiting to get something at the hot bar. And the guy behind me was just like, you're really beautiful. And I was like, thank you. I was so uncomfortable. I couldn't get out of that line fast enough. Nice guy. He wasn't asking for my phone number. He just gave me a compliment.
Yeah.
And I was like, but so I think sometimes
he wants something, or you just like have,
you're just like, okay. You just
What's
feel
the
like
motive here?
Yeah. Like, so when it's coming from a safe place, it's easier to hear it and receive it and not feel like you have to be on guard about the compliment.
So protective.
Like, oh, do I have to be careful walking to the parking lot? You know, so then maybe it confuses her a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it feels safe to receive the flirting. Whereas like, if you were out at a bar or something and a guy said it, you're like, oh my God, is he going to try to go home with me? I can't, like, does he want my number? I don't want to give, you know, like, all those things. So it could be that too. I mean, it could be a bunch of different things, but I think it's just being aware that if he said he's gay, then you can't take it as any, like, you have to, anytime you start to think that, you have to put yourself in check. Because he's just being himself.
Yeah. And see, too, I remember when I first moved to LA and met Charlie. And it was like my first gay friend that I met here. And I started going out with him and his friends. And it was after several weeks or a month or more of hanging out. We hung out a couple times a week. And I was like, do you guys like girls? I'm not like attracted to girls. I'm like, girls never hang out with us. And that's sort of something that I love about being gay. Like, where are the girls?
Yeah.
Like, let's get some girls into this party. And they were like, oh, we love them. I'm like, well, then why don't they ever hang out
Where
with us?
They?
Yeah. So I do. I think it's just like navigating for some people who aren't used to it, a whole different dynamic.
Yeah. Relationship dynamic in general.
Yeah.
But speaking of relationship, we had another question come in.
Yes.
Which I think we should
because
it's about protecting your heart.
Right.
It's about navigating relationships in general.
Right.
This was like an interesting one.
Okay. I'll read.
Okay,
I'll read
ahead.
it. I was in an age gap, 31 years relationship for 9 months. I'm older. He's younger. We met at a golf outing last year and never in a million years expected to build such a connection with each other. But it happened, and it's quite intense and was the entire time. While my friends know him as they are the ones who were with me when we met, and my grown sons knew of him, never met him though. The rest of my family and none of his knew of us. That said, holidays were not spent together, which is hard in itself, but we got through them. We decided to end it almost 3 months ago, and not because anything was wrong, but because eventually one day he wants a family and I am not able to give that to him. Too old. And we thought it would be easier to end it now than to stay together and keep building the connection, which would make it harder down the road to end it. However, we are both still in love with each other and are struggling to move on, as neither of us have ever had such a connection with someone, and the feelings are so strong. It's been an awful 3 months emotionally for both of us being apart. We are talking and trying to figure out how to go from here, as we both want to continue on, even knowing it will have to end eventually, and hearts will be broken / devastated once again. We've both said that we want to be in each other's lives in some way regardless, and preferably together, but not sure how to navigate that until the time comes that he will want to move on and have that family. I know neither of us have ever been in this situation, but interested to hear someone else's thoughts / perspective. And I just want to say, when I read that email, I really did feel so sad for her, because you know the saying, the heart wants what it wants. And it's like, fuck, man.
I mean, listen, I get it. I have been in it.
Yeah.
Literally. And I mean, I tend to lean towards older men. My last boyfriend was 17 years older than me. And I thought that was a big age gap, but
yeah,
it also didn't feel like at all. I understand like wanting to make it work, and sometimes things just don't make it work, like stop it from working.
Yeah, it's like your souls are supposed to be together.
Yes,
it feels,
like,
but you're in the wrong world.
Yeah, you're like, why aren't things lining up? I do feel for her. 31 years, that's a big one. And it's only been 9 months. And I don't say only, because I know 9 months can be so intense.
Yeah, but, I mean, I had some relationships that like were 6 months, and
and they feel like years.
But yeah, you're just in love with that person. It's so interesting, because something I don't mean to cut you off, but something that it almost feels like time doesn't exist in is your heart.
Yeah.
Like there's sometimes you know someone forever and you can take them or leave them. And there's sometimes someone just feels like they totally consume your heart.
I think it's interesting. Like, welcome to Autumn's brain. We have a conventional way of living. We've talked about this before, right? You can have multiple children and love all of those children the same, and nobody judges. You can have multiple friends and love those friends, and that's fine. You can date for years, and you can be a serial dater, and there's no judgment. But then when it comes to certain things, like who you have kids with, or like, oh, once you're like married, that you can't love anybody else. And it is this weird thing, because emotions are just emotions, feelings are feelings, and you connect with people the way you connect with people.
Yeah.
And because we have this one way that everybody thinks you're supposed to do it,
there's not a lot of space.
There's not space for like, I'm not saying be in some
like have
like have multiple wives kind of situation. I'm not saying that. Okay. That's not what I want.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that like they have this huge age gap. If he knows he wants children, she has full grown children. I mean, if you do the math, 31 years, and he's got to be of age, like she's got to be at least in her 50s, if not 60s.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
like you're not gonna like. I mean, unless you want to start talking about, hey, do you guys want to adopt together? But there's all sorts of things that come with that. 31 years is 31 years. More than likely, like if we just go harsh truth, harsh reality, more than likely she will pass before him. with that big of an age gap.
Yeah, hopefully. Honestly, like that's
right. Like
how
not to be
everyone
mean,
involved
but
should
yes,
want that to
that's how you should
happen.
want that to happen. So if you were to adopt kids, like you're already of the age where you're grown kids, like you could be going into the grandmother year. And I'm not putting it down. I'm just saying if you have grown kids, your kids could be having kids. You could adopt, and that could be something that you were comfortable with. And it's nobody else's life to judge how you go about that. But if it's a hard stop that like he wants biological kids, you can't give that to him. You're not okay with a surrogate or an egg donor or whatever. Then you have to love somebody enough to release them. And it's going to hurt and it's going to suck. And he might say that's not what he wants. He wants to be with you, but he has two options. He wants to be with you enough that he can let go of the dream of the family, or at least the way he's seen it. Or he has to let go of you to have the dream of the family. Like there's no magic realm.
There's no workaround
where it goes some other way. You don't biologically reverse an age and he doesn't speed, like there's just, so you could choose to love each other and be in each other's lives as friends. But if the physical is there, that's really hard to let go of. And then you have to watch each other move on to other people. It's not a fun situation.
I think it's like,
it's hard.
The practical side of it is have like those kinds of conversations early on. I have a friend right now who is like, has been talking to someone and they're long distance, which obviously I'm not anti that because Nell and I, that's how we started. But we talked about like, if a thought comes up about big subjects, Nell and I talk about it.
Yeah.
And we did that early on. And I think that especially when you have something like that type of age gap, if you guys want to have some fun, whatever, you're two consenting adults, that's great. But when your heart starts to want more, you have to have the hard conversations and just like think and have them early. So you don't 6 months in when you're head over heels in love, like, oh,
you can do
want
all
children?
those things and still end up fucked because I've had it happen.
Yeah.
We had all the conversations that,
and you think you can control it.
You think you can control it. You think you could just have some fun. It doesn't happen that way. I've had that happen more than once. I've had that happen in the past with a different younger guy that I dated, and he was very upfront. Like, I'm not looking for a serious relationship. And I was like, cool, me either. Like, and so we started dating and having fun and hanging out. And then all of a sudden, like, we both started having feelings, but he was much better at being like,
this isn't.
I will date you, but I'm dating other people.
Yeah.
I am being very open and honest about it. And I would get my feelings hurt. And I'm like, but I can't be mad because he's being honest.
You're right.
So a lot of times you have those conversations and then, like you said, the heart wants what it wants, and it still leads to hurt feelings.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what the person who wrote us is already in this situation. So
yeah, you can't go back.
Piece of advice is if for anyone who I think have the big conversations early on, kids, where you'd want to live, what you want your life to look like. And because some people are like, that's so unsexy in the beginning. And I get it. I'm not saying first date, but if you catch those feelings quickly, jump to those topics quickly. And like, even, like you both want kids, things that people don't even think about talking about.
Yeah.
Like how you would raise kids, like what you think about how you would want to feed your children. I know all that stuff seems like not a big deal, but those are the things that make couples want to end up killing each other because you see things so differently. And I'm just like, get to that early. So that's the advice for anyone who meets someone, catches those feelings early on. Like, I know it's unsexy and not the fun part, but and sometimes you can't control it, like you said, but have those conversations. But to the person who wrote us, if I was in a conversation, I would ask her, are you able to just, even though it sucks, really hold that time, like look at the fun you had, the connection you felt, all the positive things, and love him forever. But loving is sacrifice. No matter how you look at it, at some point, loving someone requires sacrifice. And in this case, loving him requires holding that forever, but sacrificing the need to continue it.
Well, I also want to say something. Here's the thing. It sounds like they were living in a little bit of a bubble. It's been 9 months. Immediate friends and her kids knew, but his family didn't. They didn't spend holidays together. You don't actually know. That is still the very early stages of like all the chemicals and intense and passion and sex and you're in this bubble where the whole world hasn't gotten to you yet and everything seems perfect and you can't imagine living without them.
Yeah.
You don't actually know how it would go if you started living together, started spending those holidays together, opened it up for the world to know about. Like, we all know that like people sometimes in the first year, they think, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. They get married and then 3 years in, they're like, I fucking hate this person.
Right.
And I should have waited. So,
no marriage starts planning to end.
Right.
Like no relationship.
Yeah.
Right.
Like everybody, it's all intensity. And then you're like, oh, wait, I didn't actually get to know A, B, and C. So the fact that there was so many compartments of life missing from that because you weren't doing holidays, you weren't doing the day-to-day. I get it. It feels intense because you just had these magical bubble moments of like, oh my God, it could like. And there's nothing you can do. They're already broken up. They've been broken up for 3 months. Like, I'm just saying you might not have ended up feeling the same way long term.
Yeah.
If you were living fully in it.
Right.
But being where they're at now, look, if you know it's not going to be anything, you know he's not going to change how he feels. Obviously, you can't change your biological age and what you can and can't physically provide.
Yeah.
Family-wise. Then I get it. There's no good advice to give here. It's going to suck until it doesn't suck anymore. And that's really what it is. And the only thing we all know, the only thing that makes it better is time.
Yeah. I was going to say, I have 2 pieces of advice. One, because the email said something about somehow being together until he's ready to do that family thing. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
That you're just going to cause more pain. I know it feels good in the moments, but it's like, I don't mean to downplay or degrade this experience with the other, but it's like when an addict needs a fix. Right. They feel better in the moment, but it's not progressing them in life. And that's how these emotional like feelings, I know that you're in love and it sucks that you are right now. But don't do that. Don't say, okay, well, maybe we can play for 6 more months because you don't have anyone right now that's going to have kids with you. Don't do that.
Yeah.
And the second piece of advice is, I think about how when someone is in recovery, how they have a sponsor. So like say if you're in AA and you really want to drink, you call that friend. It sounds like how you said, because she's in a bubble, maybe she hasn't opened up a lot to her friends, or maybe she's been vague. She hasn't given the specific details because there's also a lot of shame around falling for someone with that big of an age gap.
Yeah.
And especially it's even way less common for an older woman to be with, I don't even get me on my soapbox about how women are treated unfairly. Men can do shit that women can't do because I can talk about that.
That's
for
a whole other podcast.
Episodes.
New show.
But I feel like have a friend or a couple friends that you just put it all out there. Like everything that you're feeling, the experiences you had, how much you're suffering. And there's got to be, I hope to God you have some friends in your life who will hear you and see you and not judge you. And that as you're going through this inevitable, difficult, heart-wrenching time, you can reach out to your friends and lean on them. Because we all need a, quote, sponsor. Yeah. Sometimes we all need that. Can I talk to you about this shit? I'm really independent. Like I don't think you can think of a lot of times in our friendship that I've called you like, girl, I need
No, I don't
whatever.
know if ever. And I'm the one who calls you constantly. And I'm like, blah, 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 like just vomit all over you.
But there are random times where I'll call someone. And also sometimes it's even like, I know I'm such a mama's boy, it's pathetic, but I'll call my mom and be like, it's like, I just need to talk out the situation.
Yeah, of course.
I would just say to that person, the woman who wrote us, if you don't have someone because it was such a bubble, find that. Because having to process this love as a secret, if your adult children are the only ones who know, you might not be comfortable really confiding in them about it. Find someone that you can just sort of lean on and talk to as you make the choice and boundary to that this isn't going to work. So you have to end it, you know?
Yeah. Trying to do the, like she said, oh, we want to stay in each other's lives until he's ready to move on. No, that's not going to work because first of all, you're not going to move on and you're stopping yourself from finding somebody that maybe you could be compatible with. He's probably not going to really move on to find that person to have the family with. So you're stopping him from having something he wants.
Yeah.
Or he is going to move on and then you're going to be mad about it and be like, I can't believe you did it all.
Right.
Like it's messy. I get it. Like it's not easy. It's not fun, but that's the reality of it. So I think again, it's about time. It's about doing things like finding things and ways to occupy your time.
Yeah.
Really, that's what it comes down to. And I know the nights are the hardest. You go to sleep, you're thinking about the person, you miss them so much, you want to talk to them. They're your best friend. Like that can be really hard.
Mm-hmm.
So having friends to hang out with, doing things with your kids, planning things, just finding ways to get just back into the world, I think is so important.
Absolutely.
And by the way, that has nothing to do, that's just a breakup.
Right.
That's like a breakup in general. Like you go through a breakup, you just lost a little piece of your life and it's something that you thought was going to be there for a while. You have to figure out how to fill that. I don't mean it in a like fill that space.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that in the like, just replace the person. I'm just saying like there were all those moments in your day where you would share with that person, see that person, can't wait to go do something with that person, plan things with that person. Now all that time has to be filled.
You have to create new neural pathways. It's all about neuroplasticity.
You need neuroplasticity, guys.
But I mean, not but to your point, like this is a situation where an ending is inevitable. And so continuing down, the ending gets messy and one of you are resentful. And so even though it sucks, right now you're both in a position where because you love each other, you can acknowledge that you can't continue. And as painful as that is, that also in hindsight, if you can get through, you'll be able to look back on it and appreciate that more than all of a sudden you said hateful things
being
to
bitter,
each other,
angry,
being bitter.
yeah, like you kept me hanging on or things like that. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. You said the ending is inevitable. The only thing I would say is it's not necessarily inevitable if, and it really comes down to him, unfortunately. That sucks when it's out of your control. If he were to decide he was okay not having a family or not having a family in the conventional way of like having his wife give birth. And you guys had all those conversations of like, we're okay with a surrogate. We're okay with adopting. He understands that he's probably going to be a single dad at some point. Like, because she's older. Like, we're going to have to explain this to kids and our kids might be the same age as my grandkids. Like all those things. I'm not saying it can't happen, but you either need to start having those conversations or you need to continue to move on.
Yeah.
So it's either like, yeah, if you're going to be and by the way, if you're going to be in each other's lives and like say, okay, we're going to be friends in each other's lives, that could happen too, but that's still going to require time. You're not going to jump from passionate being in love to I could just be your friend.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen because you know damn well you're going to see him. He's going to see you. Heat. And all of a sudden,
right.
Things are all spiraled back up again. So you're going to have to allow some time to go by. And you could maybe say like, look, this could sometimes ease the pain. Like, let's not talk for the next 4 weeks. Let's put a date on the calendar. In 4 weeks, we'll meet up. We'll have coffee or something. We'll catch up. We'll go out in public where this doesn't lead to anything.
Yeah.
And then have a little catch up and then go about your way. Maybe you do that for a little while. So you kind of have this, I'm going to see them in this amount of time. So it doesn't feel like a never talk to them again situation, but also you're giving each other space.
Yeah.
To diffuse
Separate,
a little bit. Yeah. But
I had someone who, my first love, actually, my first gay love, which is my first love like that,
love.
This intense feeling that I had. When we realized that, and at the time it was right now, this isn't what we want. Like there was still open for the future. But I remembered having to tell him like, because we were like, but we can still be friends. And we still are today friends. But at the time I said, I need you to stop calling me.
Yeah.
Because every time my phone rings, my heart hopes it's you.
Yeah.
And I need to know it's not.
Yeah.
I need that to be out of my life. So
And then
I
they
can
stop
heal.
calling you and you're like, bitch,
It
why haven't you called
fucking
me?
Sucks. But no, it's like, this is what I need.
But
you know?
no, I know, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just want to say to the person who wrote us, I know it sucks and no advice is going to make it not painful.
Yeah. There is nothing we could say that will make it hurt less.
Yeah.
Time.
And time and find a shoulder to cry on. That's what friends are for.
Yeah.
And I really think that could help you while you're going through it.
Yeah.
So I have loved
This has been
diving
a fun
into
one.
these phone friends.
Yeah, I know. We're getting some really good ones.
Yeah.
We moved off the anal topic, so that's great.
But you never know, we might come knocking on your back door.
And on that note.
On that note, we'll see you next week.
Yeah.
If you have a phone a friend, you want to hear our advice about something you're experiencing or dealing with, shoot us an email at everythingsperfectpodcast@gmail.com and write phone a friend in the subject line. If you remember to, that helps us catch it from
That helps us.
all the spam.
There's a lot. You can also find us on social, Everything's Perfect Official on Instagram. And we'll see you guys next week.
That's right. See you then.
Bye.
When I